I wasn't really planning on making a video like this, and I don't even have a script written up. There's like nothing on my screen right now. This is kind of like a stream of consciousness, reflection on the Battlefield franchise and talking about where like its trajectory and where it's gone, where it's been, and where it is now. And like especially relative to Call of Duty, where Call of Duty is at this moment. There's a lot of people like the Call of Duty and Battlefield wars are kind of back, and it's like making me a little nostalgic. But I figure, you know what? I'm a Battlefield fan. Longtime Battlefield fan. Battlefield's good again, and I'm also a content creator, so I gotta get my take out there with everybody else. But I made a video like 3 years ago now, over 3 years ago, talking about how 2042 just missed the mark, and I decided that it wasn't for me, and I wasn't gonna be making any more content on it. That was really the turning point for me with the franchise, and after that, I think a lot of the core fan base just felt like abandoned, and we all just kind of pursued other things. Some people pursued like more hardcore shooters like Squad and Hell Let Loose and things. Other people, you know, just played completely different games and tried out some other things, take a little break from the Battlefield franchise. Before that video published, I was actually like deep into the news cycle and everything, and I was trying to make Battlefield 2042 content because I was a Battlefield guy. I liked the franchise and I wanted to make content on this game. In the early days of 2042, there was a lot of cope. I'm just gonna call it cope. From me, and I think from a lot of people in the Battlefield sphere, in the Battlefield fandom, there was a lot of cope saying, oh, like, this is cool, they did these things, like, the specialists are kind of neat, and the guns and the maps are okay, they're pretty good, and like wanting to love it, but just not liking it at all. And partly because what we got was just so different from like what was marketed to us, you know, like the marketing promised us like the traditional, you know, sandbox Battlefield gameplay with like a bleak, you know, military, grungy, almost like hardcore kind of tone, just placed it a little bit in like the near future with some like more advanced technology and things of that nature. What we got was totally different. We got massive maps, like way too big for 128 players. On the surface, when they were marketing 128 players, I bet a lot of us, I know I did, and I bet a lot of other people were thinking, oh my god, it's gonna be like Battlefield but 2 times better. It's like 64 times 2, 128. It's gonna be even more Battlefield. Who doesn't want that? And then to accommodate for all that, they made the maps huge, and there was just so much like dead space on so many of the maps, just wide open areas with nothing going on, no cover. And if you try to traverse any of these areas as like infantry with no vehicle cover or anything like that, you would get annihilated, you get destroyed. All of the activity would happen on a select couple of flags or like points on each map, and the rest of the map was dead. It just felt empty and lifeless. Also, everything was like pristine and like shiny and not war-torn in the slightest. We didn't get that grungy, you know, military tone that we were after. And then of course the specialists with all of their cringe. Just a complete 180 from the marketing in pretty much every way. And today, like especially in the past year, people have been coming back and saying, oh, Battlefield 2042 is so much better now. It's aged like fine wine. And I'm gonna straight up be that guy and say I disagree 100%. I still think that game is garbage. And I even went to, like, people are going back to play it because they can get skin unlocks for Battlefield 6 by doing that and doing some challenges and stuff. And I just can't go back to it because 2042 is just dead to me. I think it's always been a bad game, and it still is a bad game. It's a little bit less bad now, but it's still a bad game. Anyways, I'm getting off track. Like, this video that I made when I broke off from the franchise was all about identity, Battlefield's identity, and what Battlefield is, like who the core fan base is, why we play these games, and why we enjoy them. And I said that basically 2042 had kind of lost that identity and forgotten like what it was and why the fans kept coming back to play these games. Battlefield's always been about the team play and the bigger picture, the large scale sandbox. And it's way less about your kill-death ratio, getting kills. Like, shooting and getting kills in Battlefield is really fun, obviously. The gunplay needs to be good. It's a first-person shooter, obviously. But what makes it Battlefield is the team play and playing a role, playing your class and using your gadgets, using your abilities to help your squad and your team as part of the bigger picture, as part of getting the W. And the W is not your kill-death ratio. It's not making like sick, fast-paced, like Call of Duty clippable moments, flying through the air or slide canceling your way around the map and getting kills. The W, the big W in Battlefield, working with your team and your squad to capture objectives, bleed the enemy's tickets, and basically beat them in that match. Get that big W, beat the enemy team. Call of Duty, Battlefield's direct competition, that is about the kill-death ratio and the small-scale, hyper-competitive FPS gameplay. And I just want to make it clear, like, there's nothing wrong with that. We need like a diverse set of FPS games, like just across all genre, we need games that do things a little bit differently and appeal to different audiences. People that say like a product that isn't made for everyone shouldn't be made or something to that effect is just full of shit, and they have no idea what they're talking about. Did you know that like when marketing teams and advertising teams get together in a room and they strategize about how to push a product, they distill like the demographic, the advertising targets for this product down to like a single person. They think like, what is this person's job? Who are, like, what is their background? What nationality are they? What's their heritage? Are they male or female? Where do they go to school? What's their favorite food? Do they like spicy food? What kind of movies do they like? What's their political leaning? You know, do they have kids, or are they single? Are they married? A lot of effort goes into advertising and targeting a demographic. Literally like no product in any like product category, not just video games, literally anything. Like it is impossible to make a product that appeals to everybody. And now bringing this forward to what we're seeing today, Call of Duty is having its Battlefield 2042 moment, and a lot of people are kind of unhappy with Black Ops 7 these days. And honestly, I didn't even know that there was a free open beta going on for Black Ops 7 right now. I literally had no idea, but people are playing it and not having the best time. They did make some changes with the SBMM, and people are enjoying that a little bit more. But like the trailers that they've been putting out and the marketing and everything surrounding Black Ops 7 has kind of put that community on the back foot and being like, this is not quite what we want. We want to go back to the golden years of Call of Duty. We want what you guys used to do, what used to be good in Call of Duty. We don't really want this. And that brings up like, what is Call of Duty? What is Call of Duty's identity? What kind of gamer does that cater to? What is the core demographic of that game? And why does that fan base keep coming back and playing that? Completely different reasons than Battlefield, and that's okay. We can have Battlefield and Call of Duty can exist separately and compete with one another, and competition is obviously a good thing. We know that Call of Duty is sweating right now because I just saw this in my feed. They made Black Ops 6 free to play, 100% free to play, multiplayer, single player, like everything across the board for a week. Starting yesterday. This video is coming out on the 10th, Battlefield 6 launch day. Black Ops 6 went free to play yesterday for a week, and right when Battlefield 6 is launching. So a lot of Call of Duty streamers and gamers participated in the beta and streamed it and made content on it and stuff. And a lot of them enjoyed it, but then a lot of them gave feedback. And this, I'm gonna jump again back to Battlefield's identity and what makes Battlefield Battlefield. Honestly, I think DICE made the right decision when they decided to ignore the feedback from the Call of Duty players and slow down the movement and make adjustments to the gunplay to make guns less laser beamy than in the beta. During and after the beta, a lot of Call of Duty gamers came out and said, I don't like these things about Battlefield. I don't like how the maps are. I don't like how Liberation Peak is so big, and I'm not really a fan of the vehicles. I'm more infantry gameplay, or I think like the gun should be more laser beamy, or I think the map should be smaller and stuff like that. That is not what Battlefield is. That's never been what Battlefield is. I was a big skeptic leading up to the beta for Battlefield 6. I saw all the news, I saw the executives saying, oh, this is the best Battlefield ever. We've made so much progress, and the game's so good, and we're so far ahead of schedule. Like, oh my god, we heard all of this with Battlefield 2042, and that turned out to be a total shit show. But then everybody got to play the beta, and man, it feels good. It feels like coming home. It feels like a reunion. That's what it feels like. All the Battlefield refugees are finally coming back together in the franchise that they all love and they were able to play and enjoy together. There are still one or two things that they have changed that they're not really gonna budge on. They had closed weapon playlists, or just one closed weapon playlist during the beta, and it seems like they're not gonna move in that direction for the final release. They're not gonna do closed down classes. They're gonna proceed with the open classes, and pretty much any class can use any weapon they want. So like a little bit of a double-edged sword. I mean, on the one hand, when I was playing the beta, I found it pretty liberating being able to use pretty much whatever weapon I wanted across all classes. But then on the other side, classes feel so much less distinct. Like, this is one of the pillars of what makes Battlefield Battlefield. Like, each class has a specific role, a specific set of weapons and gadgets and stuff, and everybody does something specialized. Like, obviously, like, there's going to be a lot of overlap because the class system has kind of like reshaped and molded over the years, over the last decade. But generally speaking, traditionally speaking, Assault pushes ahead, punches through, is the front line and heals allies. Engineer, anti-vehicle, has the rocket launchers, the mines, and all that stuff. Destroy enemy vehicles, delete enemy vehicles, and repair your own. Support is ammo, just keep everybody else on the team fed, supplied with ammo, and uses LMGs to suppress, basically. And then recon, obviously, they have sniper rifles and act as like snipers, like counter snipers, to get rid of the other team snipers, and use recon drones and spawn beacons and things of that nature as like support items for the rest of the team. With weapons being usable across the board by any class, that line is starting to blur a little bit. And even the way they look, the classes look a little bit less distinct now. They all kind of look the same in Battlefield 6. It was really hard to tell like who was who. In the past, you knew like if he's wearing a baseball cap, he's an engineer and he's probably got some AT. So you have a friendly tank rolling up behind you on this road, you should probably kill that guy before he puts down a mine or takes his RPG out and takes pot shots at your armor. There's a sniper up there shooting down at you, and you know that he's got a sniper rifle, or, you know, maybe an SMG or something. If he's got a sniper rifle, he's shooting at you if you see the glint, and you know that he probably has a respawn beacon up there. So if you kill him, he's just going to respawn in the same spot and keep going. So you better run up to him, get close quarters, kill him, and then take out his spawn beacon. Like, these are the things that Battlefield players think about when they're in the middle of a match and trying to decide on like what strategy to push, like what to play, where to go, what to do. Do I go to the objective right now? There's a lot of people down there and I'm solo. I need to wait for the rest of my squad. Or I can be of use over here in a different way. Maybe I'm an engineer and I repair this vehicle as we're like staging and getting ready to go after this objective. That'll be some good support, some extra support for when we try to take that. The strategies in the wargaming, it's always like turning over in my head. Me personally, as I'm playing Battlefield games, I'm always thinking about what can benefit the team, how I can best use my class, how I'm spec'd out right now, how I can be most effective with that in the moment to push my team forward. And we're kind of losing that a little bit with Battlefield 6. The classes are going to feel, you know, a little bit less distinct, unfortunately. They're still going to have their place. There's still like gadgets and things that only specific classes can use. I think the respawn beacon is going to be on the assault class now, which makes sense if you think about it, since the assault is going to be like frontline and pushing forward the most into enemy territory, most likely. But anyways, as the franchise grows, as it pushes forward, as it progresses, some things inevitably have to change. And this might just be how Battlefield evolves and what we can expect from the franchise in future titles now. This is just one of those things. It's one of those changes that we're going to have to deal with. Anyways, that's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to my old man ramblings about the Battlefield franchise and the traumatic experience that the last decade has been for me and all other Battlefield players. But the game Battlefield 6 is good now. It is actually good. I've played the beta. This is not cope. I'm not coping like I did with 2042. The game is actually good. And if you're a Battlefield refugee and you've been kind of like waiting to see what's going on, and you didn't get a chance to play the beta maybe for whatever reason, I can confirm that it is good. They're making some changes. Some things are a little bit different, namely the weapons and the class system, but it feels like Battlefield again, and it feels amazing. It is out today, and I should be playing it either right now or very soon. By the time you guys are watching this video, I'm going to be playing it like pretty much all day today, and probably throughout the weekend too. I'm going to be streaming it. So if you can, drop by the stream and say hi, and we're going to be playing lots of Battlefield, exploring the game, unlocking weapons, and playing the new maps and stuff, and it's going to be a great time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to like the video if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'll see you on the battlefield.